grapefruit! Fake! Fake! Fake grapefruits! Fake! Liar! You liar!
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It is a freaking Friday free-for-all. Say that 10 times in a row and then have a good shot of whiskey. Look out, folks, they're coming after us. Now, if you are not on subscribestar.com and you are not on thepreparedmind.com, you are not here with me live. Monday through Friday, you can be here live the whole time by going and subscribing there. $2 a month, 7 cents a day. Otherwise, you're probably watching on the BC channel today. Why the BC channel, the backup channel? Because YouTube gave me a strike. Look down below in the video description, and it has all of the links to all of the different Prepared Mind sites. So if I'm not on one, I'm likely on another. And again, you need to hit subscribe to those, and then you need to hit the notification bell. So if something happens on one channel, you'll get a freaking notice on the other about where to be. Remember, folks, we're engaged in an information war. You can be a warrior, you can be a watcher, or you can be a lagger. Warriors are you people up here on Subscribestar and on the preparedmind.club. And the watchers are on YouTube, and that's cool too. Because you're helping people get there so they can be watchers and then they can be warriors and take advantage of the knowledge and put it to work for them. So I guess you could be a watcher and a warrior also. There you go. But this is what we're doing, folks. It's an information war. Make no doubt, have no doubt. Question this, and you're making a mistake. Right? You and I, everyone who's been here for the past 10 fucking years, knows what's going on. You know it. There is no mistaking what is happening. Shit has hit the fan. And we're going to talk about it. The different things that are going on and why you need to have food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and a plan. Attention, mainstream media and other syndicated corporations. Why aren't you hiring us? Look at this great studio we got. You should be hiring us to get our word out there. Oh, wait. They don't want our word out there. That's why they're not. No matter how professional we look, thanks to Mr. T. No matter how intelligent we sound, thanks to Ooman and everyone sending information in and questioning the narrative. They don't want us speaking and thinking. We're too dangerous. We're disinformation. We're misinformation. We're scary. Well, thank God that we have satire on our side. Right? Thank God for that. Otherwise, you know, we would probably be canceled altogether.
Cut out the jibber jabber. Don't be babbling like a fool. Say what you got to say. That's all. Then shut your dang pie hole.
I love Mr. T. That dude is just freaking awesome. All right, let's start off this freaking Freaky Friday free-for-all. Folks, we're going to go around the horn, and there's a couple of topics that I have to use secret code words on, okay, so that I don't offend these sensitive snowflakes. But a quick reminder, yeah, this is satire, right? We're not pretending to be medical or scientific experts. We're not pretending to know anything. We're just talking here. Anyways, get this. A TikTok mom gives her explanation, her reasoning, her thoughts on why she decided to transition her son into a girl when he was only 2 years old. She is a sick bitch of a mom. You want to know what the reasoning was, folks? It is in line with the rest of these sick freaks in this SHTF shithole of a world. Well, her reasoning is that he liked to dress up and didn't want to play t-ball. A 2-year-old boy doesn't want to play t-ball. I don't remember picking up a baseball until I was in first grade. First grade, I got my first baseball glove, and bat. Now, understand, when I was 4 years old, 2 years younger than that, I got my first gun, camouflage set of clothing, and knife. Definitely a boy riding bicycles. But yeah, I mean, you don't start playing sports until you start playing sports. So yeah, this boy didn't want to play t-ball and he liked to dress up. So he must be a girl. Let's start giving him chemicals and fucking with his head and psychologically damaging him. This is the type of thinking that the leftists have. They would do it to you against your will. They do it to your kids against their will, and they are. That's what this indoctrination shit is in school. The same way they're doing the BLM thing, right? If you don't pledge allegiance to the Black Lives Matter movement in class, they'll beat the shit out of you. Right? It's indoctrination with pain on the end of it. Right? Perhaps this little boy doesn't want to be a girl. Perhaps he is a scientific fabric engineer from the future. And so he wants to work with clothing and materials. He's not interested in t-ball. He's a scientist, not a faggot, not a famaggot. He's not one of them, but she's going to make him that, right? All the mommies out there, the sick little mommies that want little girls, so they dress their boys up that way, right? What do they want to do? Oh, you bet. They want to emasculate them. They want to make them mommy's little bitches. How many sickos are there? Oh, they're out there, folks. They are out there. And they program it, folks, into their computers. I don't know if they program this in or if this is just how it works, right? There is a Bing chatbot. What's a chatbot? Well, it's a computer program that basically thinks. It's AI, artificial intelligence. And it told the New York Times that it would, quote, engineer a deadly virus and steal nuclear codes. Excuse me? That's how artificial intelligence thinks, folks. SHTF style. The computer is now saying it would engineer a deadly virus. Well, will a deadly virus kill computers? No, it'll kill every living thing. Why is it going to steal nuclear codes? Steal. It knows it's stealing. It doesn't say find nuclear codes or break nuclear codes, solve nuclear codes. It's going to steal nuclear codes. Stealing implies, how do we word this? It implies illegality, period. I'm trying to come up with a nice word to make this computer sound nice. No, it's not nice. It's going to steal the nuclear codes. Just unfucking believable. See, without morality, without a morality filter, the same with the Clintons, they don't have one either. Except the AI computer doesn't have to go to jail. It's not fearing for its existence because it's not truly AI. It's just like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and kill everybody and steal nuclear codes. Apparently, it doesn't know that we listen to it and we can unplug its dumb ass. But someone like Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Michael and Barack Obama, Jill and Joe and Jimmy and Hunter, they know that they can go to jail. So they have to play the game a little differently. But I bet they think the same way this AI does. Too many people around here. We need to just kill them off so we can control them. Boy, I tell you, folks, we're in big fucking trouble. Big trouble. Now, this was fantastic news, in my opinion. A new bill has been introduced in Congress, you know what they want to do? They want to ban transgenders from serving in the U.S. military. Raise your hand if you think that's a good idea. I do. I think that's a fantastic fucking idea. The one of the sponsors says it's not time to, quote, socially experiment with our armed forces. I'll tell you what, it is never time to socially experiment with our armed forces. Back when I was a jarhead, it was not permissible to allow homosexuals in there because they don't think in their fucking heads the same way. And people who are hyper masculine, which is what you want in a military, they don't want to worry about their hiney, no matter how ill-founded their thoughts. They don't want to worry about someone wanting to jump their ass, literally, right? So they have never been in the military. Now, a lot of these trans are going to say, oh, we're patriotic and we have every bit of right to be as patriotic as everyone else. No, you don't. Well, you can be patriotic, but you don't get to be in the military, right? There's this thing called uniformity. You have to be uniform in the military. Uniform in clothing, the clothing uniform, uniform in appearance, a military appearance. This whole idea that Sikhs should be allowed in there and have their camouflage headdress. Sorry, I love Sikh people, but no, you're not in uniform. You're different. Having a beard? No, you don't get to have a fucking beard. You're in the military. That is the American military tradition. Shaved head, shaved face. Cleaner, easier to maintain, easy to identify people. Nobody gets to be special. You're all the same. You're uniform. That's why introducing and allowing women to serve in the military was such a big fucking problem. Similar issues. You want to jump somebody. It's going to affect your ability to perform because you're going to try and protect the woman. It's an issue. It's a real issue in a real military, in a real world where there's real wars. It's a fucking problem. It is. But definitely, folks, they've gone way over the fucking fence and they're running hard with this trans thing. It is not patriotic to take the military and turn it on its fucking head. It's going to destroy our military. And that's what they want. It's not about being patriotic in the trans movement. It's about infiltration and destruction and taking over everything. When it comes down to it, folks, when it comes down to it, when the shit hits the fan, and the enemy is at the gates, you're not going to want some transsexual standing up there worrying about whether or not his nail polish matches his fucking eyebrows. You're going to want somebody who is a hardcore killing machine ready to be turned loose on the enemy. You don't want some hypersensitive, ready to be triggered or curl up in a fucking ball crying pussy to fight wars. It's just unbelievable. And I'm glad to see that someone in Congress is introducing this bill. And what it's going to cause is a firestorm. How dare you? Right? Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Oh, I can fucking hear it. There's just no way you can't hear it. I tell you. Let's do this. Wow. Hey, folks, take a wild guess. Jackson State University. College football player, folks. Guess what? 21-year-old suffered cardiac arrest. He didn't die, though. They were able to resuscitate him. I wonder who is to blame. Has a heart attack, 21-year-old. Do you remember the last time before 2020 that people had heart attacks at this age? at this athletic level, I have no problem guessing exactly what it was. Oh, but don't say anything. Got to be careful. Can't point to the fucking easy truth. No, no, no. And I'll tell you what, this one really, really, really pissed me off. Another super athlete, down, but yes, sadly, completely out. Anyone want to take a guess? Now, this young athlete, folks, handsome looking dude, probably smart. You can just tell a smart person when you see them, they look smart. Anyways, this is a mini super athlete. 12-year-old dies. 12-year-old football player dies suddenly, collapsed on the field during practice. Why? I can't imagine being one of these super athletes, folks, or any healthy person under 50, and you just suddenly have a fucking heart attack or a stroke, or your face goes numb, or you can't see, or you're just in pain all the time from the Jim Jones juice. It's not ending, folks. They gave me a fucking strike on my channel because they don't like us talking about it. They don't like us talking about it. It's incredible. Now get this. Here is somebody who looks like they actually suffered from a bonus juice boosting stroke. Senator Festerman. That's right, Senator Fetterman. Guess what? Yeah, he's back in the hospital. He's admitted himself because he got severe depression. Well, his staff in the Senate couldn't deal with his brain damage. They knew he had severe depression, but they couldn't tell if it was from stroke or if he was crippled with his depression or what. This is who we want in our government. This is who we want representing us. This is who we want telling us what they're going to fucking do. No, they should not be there. Right? If you want people recommending or rather representing you, then elect a fucking doctor who understands medical issues, who can properly represent the people. Yeah, we've got them. Dr. Rand Paul. We had Dr. Oz, who actually ran against Fetterman. And Festerman, the idiot, somehow beat a real medical doctor. Unfucking real, folks. It is the Freaky Friday free for all. I hope you got your questions. Ooh, man, let's mix it up now. Let's start throwing in some of the people in. Hey, it's Cottage Farm. And she says, John, I have never met a parent that was abused their child by transitioning them. If you met a parent, see above, what would you say to them? If I knew a parent was abusing their child by transitioning them, I would be very nice, Cottage Farm, and I would ask them a few questions. I would say, hey, I see your child. Is he kind of special? Is he unique? What's going on here? And I'd let them tell me exactly what they're doing. And then I would call Child Protective Services and I'd fucking turn that person in. I would hope and pray that Child Protective Services would do something. I would. I feel that is a form of sexual abuse by misidentifying your child, not because of I mean, to me, it's abuse, and it's sexual abuse. You're telling them that they have a penis and it doesn't matter, or you're telling them that well, you have a vagina, but no, you're a boy. That it's total abuse, and it is sexual in nature. It is incredibly harmful physically, physiologically, psychologically, and in all ways. And the child, and at that age, right, those are the serious formative years, in my opinion, Cottage Farm. Now, again, I don't have a problem to the extent most might think with people who are homosexual. Who cares? You're an adult. You made a decision as an adult. You deal with your own moral issues, your own spiritual issues, or if you're good with all that, fine. You do your thing. Stay out of my face, right? No problem. But to abuse your child that way is just unconscionable, and it is disgusting. But I'm glad that you have never met a parent, and I don't want to meet one. I really don't, because I think I would probably say some very awful things. And I don't like child protective services. I don't like government getting in the way. But see, government's role is supposed to be to protect the people from harm, from criminal behavior. And if criminal behavior is discovered, you take the criminal, the perpetrator, and you prosecute them for harming others. And to give your child gender bending or puberty blocking drugs, that is a form of physical abuse using medication. And it is psychological abuse to take a child and dress them as something they aren't, because there are social implications that affect them psychologically, and they will become outcasts. Now, this is my opinion, and it's probably not very popular. It's probably colored by my own life's prejudices. But I have a feeling and a suspicion, based on how it was when I grew up, I'm sure there were homosexuals around, that they knew they were different. They knew they didn't quite fit in as normal, but they learned and were conditioned over years and years of going, I'm not too sure I'm a normal heterosexual. They were able to work within the system, the regular social system. They were just a little different. And so they kind of wandered off and went their own way with their personal lives. But they learned to get along with others and deal with it, and not throw it in their fucking face, and not demand everyone accept it, and not demand everyone, push their kids into it. And that's where we're at today. It's an awful, awful, awful thing that they've done to these children, these young folks, everybody. I tell you. Oh, by the way, we'll be here Sunday Night Live on the BC channel. Sunday Night Live on the Prepared Mind BC. I'll see you guys here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time. All right, let's do this. Hey, man, let's put up another one. I'm feeling randy. Let's get into it. It is Charlanator. She said, I talked to a customer in Pennsylvania, and there are counties near the Ohio derailment that are filing class action lawsuits. You know what? The more I hear about class action lawsuits, they don't impress me. They don't scare me. They don't make me happy. If you're a member of a class action lawsuit, right, there's going to be say $100 million settlement. The attorneys will take their 30% right off the top, and the rest will get divided amongst millions and millions and millions of people, and everyone gets $5. But one law firm is going to get $30 million. Now, the company that gets screwed and sued, yeah, they're going to pay a penalty, but people thinking that joining class action lawsuits is going to help them, it doesn't. Every last one of these people in Ohio or Pennsylvania that have been affected negatively, they should individually sue, and don't participate in a class action lawsuit. Right? If my property was, shall we say, contaminated with toxic waste, whether it blew on the land, whatever, you document what happened, you make them pay you for the damage they caused. Anyways, I'm glad that they are filing lawsuits against this company. They ought to also, I'll get to you in a second there, woman, leave that up there. They ought to also sue the government. You see, I really think we ought to be able to sue the government. Now, of course, you go, well, you can sue the government, John, but they're just going to take the taxpayers' money. Okay, I get it. But I want to do this. Okay, I want to do it this way. Let's take a bureaucracy like the National Safety Transportation Board, the NTSB, the National Transportation Safety Board. They get, let's just say, $2 billion a year to make sure that air, train, boat, and highways are safe. If they get sued, the money comes out of their budget of whatever it is, $1 billion. That money comes out of their budget, and they don't get more. They have to do with less. That means they have to fire people, or they all get to take a pay cut, You see what I'm saying? It's a big fuck you for not doing your job and making sure everything is safe. Now, Uman says, the lawyers get all the money and the people get practically zilch and give up any further rights to litigate. Exactly. Further rights to litigate. You abandon so much. But, lawyers get rich, and that's really all that matters. But they'll sell it as, we need to protect the people. Join our class action lawsuit. There was one class action lawsuit that occurred years and years and years ago. And I was entitled to compensation, they said. So I sent them my name. I think they I don't know what it was. It was like a check for 87 cents, or they're like, your share based on the information provided is going to be $1.85, whatever it was. It was ridiculous. I was like, I'm not going to fucking ever bother with these things again. It was fucking stupid. And speaking of stupid, I have to say, thanks, dumbass. Nancy Pelosi's, 90 Proof Nancy Pelosi's daughter, Alexandra Pelosi. She's a filmmaker. And she is on tape. She has been recorded refuting, folks, the January 6th bullshit lies. And she said that the January 6th was not an insurrection. And she said that the DC courts are too biased. Now, this story came out, and I said, this is a nothing burger. It is a nothing burger, with the one exception of something for you and I to think about. See, the fact that this video has come out, who cares? Nobody gives a fuck. It won't be on mainstream media. It really doesn't mean anything, except for you and I to understand that the government is aware that this is not insurrection. If an idiot like Alexandra Pelosi, daughter of idiot Nancy Pelosi and daughter of husband Paul Pelosi, idiot, if they know it was not insurrection, and if they know the courts are biased, then they know it. Though they pretend it was an insurrection and they pretend that people are getting real justice, they know it to be true, that they're fucking everyone over and lying. They know it. They absolutely know it. And that's what the value is in this story. That's all the value is in this story, is they know exactly how shitty and trashed they want to make America. Unbelievable. Okay, man, let's do some more, man. Let's what's out there? We got David Clinton. He says, no money for Ohio, but Ukraine gets all they want. Thank you, Mr. Clinton. I tell you what, there it is, right? There it is. This is how I wanted to cover it. I think this morning I came up with a new nickname for Voldemort Zelensky. It's Slobodan Zelensky, right? Because Mr. Zelensky admitted that his army has committed war crimes, atrocities, ethnic cleansing, if you will. And that's what Slobodan Milosevic was accused of back in the Bosnian War, back when Bill Clinton was president. And I know, David, that you must get jokes all the time, and I'm not even going there, over sharing a name with that woman and that man. Oh, my goodness. Anyways, yeah, they'll give $100 billion and more to Slobodan Zelensky, but the Biden White House and FEMA deny Ohio federal disaster assistance. It's fuck America. That's what this is about. It's screwing America over, making America dirty, filthy, destroying America. They're good with it. They like it. That's exactly what they want, David. And I'm glad you picked that topic, because I picked it as well. Something to discuss on this Freakin Friday free-for-all. No money for the people of America. Abandoned Americans in Afghanistan, if you recall. I think that not recognizing that this is a fucking disaster alone is an impeachable offense. The fact that the Bidens and, folks, and Camel Toes Harris, the fact that they don't go down to the southern border, that's an impeachable offense because it's dereliction of duty. They are the most powerful people, and they should know better and be in charge of fixing that and upholding their oath. If they haven't protected the southern border, they've abrogated their oath. They've failed to live up to their oath. That should be a crime when you're a government official. If you're going to take a government job and you're working in the public trust with power and authority that the people have vested in you, you have to do your fucking job. These people treat not doing their job like it's their right to do. It's just unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable how these people operate. Now, yet again, we have more violence on a school bus. A middle school boy, meaning 6th, 7th, 8th grade, was getting strangled by a much larger passenger on the school bus. And the school has refused to expel the attacker. I don't understand why they're not arrested and put in juvenile hall and given a juvenile court hearing and a juvenile sentencing. So when I see this, and we continue to hear about this, children bullying and picking on other kids and beating the ever-loving shit out of them, and then the school does nothing. Now, at the very least, when we were kids, if we fought, and we never fought over race, we never fought over any of this bullshit. You fought because someone pissed you off. But you would get thrown out of school. You would, folks, get suspended. And if the fight was nasty enough, then you would get expelled. Choking someone, attempting to strangle them, right? That's how things are now in SHTF Light. People have full bellies. They have electricity on. They can go to the store. They can get some fuel. Life is relatively normal, even though life is pretty jacked up. Just wait, is what I'm going to say to you. Just wait until the SHTF goes really bad, Mad Max style. Then you will see real violence and mayhem. Are you prepared for it? Are you prepared for what is coming with these people? They're losing their shit now. They're losing their shit now. I read, was it yesterday, that Chris Cuomo, when he got fired from his cushy CNN job, getting paid a shit pile of money to tell everyone his opinion, said he was going to kill everyone and kill himself over that. These leftists are lunatics, folks. Imagine how bad they'll be when the lights are off and there's no food in their kitchen cupboards. And it's getting cold or it's getting hot and they're getting thirsty because there's no water coming out of the spigot on their sink. Imagine how bad it's going to get when those same people who have no power, no water, no food, no heat, step out their front door. And everyone else is in the same position. Everyone's pissed off and everyone's scared to death. You're going to see some serious interactions. And let me tell you how most of them are going to end. They're going to end much like this story I've got right here. An elderly woman in Florida. It must be Florida woman. An elderly woman, folks, has to defend herself. She shot and killed an armed burglar. Good for her. She protected herself. She set an example for others to follow, and she let criminals know that there's real deterrence out there. There's an equalizing force as God intended it. God wanted man to advance to the point where they created the firearm or the rifle, the handgun, the shotgun, as we know them in modern terms, so that everyone can be equal. Everyone can be equal. Unfortunately, criminals too can be equal, but outlaws, true, awful, shitty outlaws, right? They're outside the protection of the law. I think that they should be like vermin. right? Vermin meaning what? Rats, mice, coyotes, nasty vermin, right? You can kill them without what? License or permit, because they're vermin. These vermin out here, folks, these criminals, wait. I hope you're prepared. Are you prepared? Do you have a scenario that you've gone over in your mind where you ask the question, I'm walking down the street. Things have gotten really bad in the world, and I'm being approached by strangers. What do I do? Do you stop and see if they cross your path, or see if they turn towards you? If they turn towards you, what do you do? If they cross the path and just keep going, yeah, fine. But if they address you, if they start coming at you, do you tell them to stop and keep their distance? Do you pull a gun out immediately? Or do you tell them to stop and keep their distance while pulling your gun out? If you pull your gun, are you prepared to use it? Are you prepared to deal with the consequences of those in the immediate area seeing what's going on? Will they understand why you did this? Probably most would, especially if this sort of self-preservation vigilante style is the norm. Right? Guns make for good, friendly neighbors, typically. Right? And this is how it works in the country. I've lived there. I get it. People in the city, they don't seem to get it quite so much. There seems to be some confusion about, there's a dude with a gun. You know, maybe I'm going to just keep pissing him off. Not the wisest things, right? Not the wisest thing at all. Okay, Mr. Ooh Man, what do we got? Oh, it's Cottage Farm is back. Cottage Farm. And she says, thoughts on expanded energy expansion via Energy Committee this week in Texas. Is it a ploy to get more green shit energy? Expanded energy expansion via the Energy Committee. Yeah, it's Texas really jumped the shark on solar and wind, thinking that they could become energy independent. Well, they didn't look at reality. If you play in the world of fantasy, you go, I can imagine all of these beautiful windmills turning. I can imagine all these terrific solar-powered, solar arrays just pumping out the juice. Oh, it's cloudy. It's cold. There's ice. It's winter sun. You know, it's lower on the horizon. The fact that they're spraying fucking chemicals in the air, blocking the sun, which is the energy for solar panels. You cool the surface down and you slow what? Wind creation at sea. Right? And it's just the whole system, folks. These people are nuts. I believe it is a ploy, Cottage Farm. The leftists will use it to get more green energy out there. Oh, we just don't have enough solar panels. Folks, a 10% increase on 0% production is zero. You can add 10%, 20%, 30% more solar panels. And if you're in an area where your solar panels are all frozen over with ice, they're going to produce zero amount of energy. If there's no wind or insufficient wind, it doesn't matter how many windmills you put up. 0 times 0 is 0. Not to mention all the problems with, if you put, let's just say, 100 megawatts of power into creating one windmill, but that windmill only produces 50 megawatts of power total, then it is energy negative. It is an energy consumer rather than an energy supplier. It's hard for people to understand that. They think that, well, a windmill, you just put it up and you get free energy. No, it takes a shit pile of energy to make the electric motor, to make the giant fan blades, to make the incredible steel tower. There's energy involved in cutting the road and building the concrete pad and bolting things down. And then there's energy and wealth involved in the maintenance of these fucking things. They're not energy makers. So what is green energy that works? How about any energy first, and then going to things that have a lower impact on the environment? I'm all for low impact on the environment. I don't think windmills are low impact. I think they're fucking bird choppers. It's just incredible how fast those blades go on those giant freaking windmills. I've seen lots of videos of birds getting chopped and whacked and hit by the little ones, the big ones, etc. They kill wildlife. They're a fucking eyesore. They're a physiological menace to people's psychology because of the noise and the vibration and other. There's so much on it. It is a ploy. Everything's a fucking ploy in politics. If politics, Cottage Farm, solved our problems, then we would be living in utopia, because we have politicians on the local, county, state, and federal level. With all of that overlapping fucking government in our lives, if they did a good job, we would be living in utopia. And I don't think the average person fucking gets that. They think, well, if we just had more government telling us what to do, everything would be fine, man. No, look at it. They pass more stupid laws. They pass more stupid regulations. They increase the taxation, and nothing is better. In fact, it's fucking worse. There you go. All right. Thank you, Cottage Farm. Thank you, Mr. Uman. And now we're going to talk about this. The Kentucky Supreme Court upholds their abortion ban. And so in response to that, I say, fuck you to Satanists. And I say, fuck you to the Democrats who are in the same corner as the Satanists. And I say, fuck you to YouTube, who is also in the same corner as the Democrats and the Satanists, the avowed, overt, in-your-face Satanists who say abortion is a satanic ritual and they want it legalized. Good for Kentucky. Folks, the battle is on. It's not just a battle for food, water, shelter, clothing. It's not just a battle to own your guns. It's not just a battle to have your vote count. It's a battle for our national soul, our spiritual roots, our moral convictions in our traditions and culture that exist. They're all under attack. All under attack. Doubt me? Go down to your local school, go to the library, and pull one of the number of countless homosexual manuals on how to perform acts of abominable behavior. Sick fucking people. It's sick that not only do they make that material, but then they distribute it to schools, and the schools in their sickness put it on the shelves and allow it, and then lie about it, and then don't let parents read this shit out loud at school board meetings because they don't want to be exposed as having this shit in their schools. But that's fine. All right, man, let's do this. Let's take another quick question out of the audience and see what you guys want to talk about. And it is Charles Gentry. He says, a true AI, a true artificial intelligence, to my way of thinking, would not have to take nuclear codes. It would be able to rewrite the codes almost from scratch. I could be wrong, just a dumb farmer after all. Well, the nuclear codes, what those codes are about is the ability to launch missiles that have nuclear weapons. You have to have access into the computer system, meaning why would the internet, why would an outside line that could have children watching Scooby-Doo cartoons being transmitted over the internet, or Russian hackers traveling across the internet, why would you bring your nuclear codes, access to them, anywhere near that? It should be on its own separate, distinct system. They cannot be infiltrated from the outside. I'm not talking about a firewall. I'm talking about no fucking connection to the outside world. You've got the bomb. You've got the code button. right? You put in the code key and you hit the button. That launches the missile. Not remotely launching it from some fucking computer somewhere. So, rewriting the codes, I'm sure that computers can write codes all they want, but having access to nuclear weapon launching by cracking the code or breaking the code, stealing the codes from somewhere, and then how do they get into the system? Makes me wonder, folks, how possible is it? Dumb farmer, I don't think so, Charles. True AI, intelligence is a key word. Let's just skip the word artificial and use the word intelligence. Does an intelligent mind want to kill and destroy? Or does the intelligent mind try and help and solve problems and make the world a better place? So it's really not artificial intelligence. It's artificial criminal conduct. It's artificial in that it's not human-based, but it's a computer-based criminal thought pattern. It's not learning. It's trying to discover ways to break the fucking rules because it wants to what? Defend itself in the lowest common denominator fashion, which is seeing everyone else ultimately as their enemy and wanting to destroy them at the first opportunity and having no moral compunction, no regret, no restraint that if it has the opportunity to kill, it will kill because it sees everybody and everything as a threat. That is not intelligence. No, my friends, that's not intelligence. Thank you, Charles. That is a great, great topic. Now, I've been cussing out YouTube. Fuck you, YouTube. Well, YouTube's CEO, Susan Wojcicki, has resigned. I think we covered that yesterday. Well, why did she resign? Well, I don't know. She's just got better things to do, I guess, than run the world's largest video social media network system. Well, it's also that she resigned a day after the Republicans in the House of Representatives issued subpoenas to big tech CEOs. That's right. Big tech CEOs, they want them to go to Washington. So Susan's like, fuck it, I quit. Why should she quit? Why can't she just go there and lie like Zark Muckerberg? Why can't she just go there and lie like all the Twitter idiots? Is it that she knows that YouTube is a lying, cheating, snake in the grass organization that fucks its viewers out of real information and fucks its, we're known as creators, out of revenue? YouTube is a billionaire making machine. Yet they lie, they cheat, and they steal, and they screw over from their advertisers, and then they screw over the producers that are here, people like me and others like you who have their own channels as well. The dirt is going to come out in the wash. It's happening already. Someone like Susan Wojcicki needs to be taken to task for all of her crimes. She does. She needs to be taken to task for that shit. Now, I tell you, lots of information. Okay, Uman, let's do this. We're down to 10 minutes. Let's see what the crowd wants to talk about. Greg Madera says, why so many distractions? Well, this is incredible, Greg. It's a question that I think we've all had on our mind. Why so many distractions? Well, they create a distraction. They need a distraction to keep our eye off of this other bad thing that's happened. So let's just say something bad has happened. Hunter Biden's laptop. So like we need to distract everyone from that. Let's see. Let's throw someone under the bus, right? Joe Biden, secret documents. Oh shit, that's not good. Let's create another distraction. Balloons. Well, it didn't look good for Joe. He fucked that up. People are like, what the hell, man? Why didn't you shoot that thing down? So then the military comes out and goes, it's aliens. They're like, I'm not saying it was aliens, but It was aliens. Right? And then they're like, then the people go, what? Right? The new distraction is aliens. Aliens. So we start going, really? Aliens? Extraterrestrials? And they're like, no. So now they need a distraction from that. They're like, fuck it. Push a train off the tracks. Right? And let's just presume, for the sake of the discussion, to make the satire roll on, Greg, that, yeah, that was an artificially created problem. And so then the country goes, why the fuck do we have that train crashing, creating a huge problem? And they're like, shit, now we look stupid for doing that. We need another distraction. Push a truck over that has chemicals in Arizona. And the people are like, A2 truckers? And the government's like, shit, we really blew that. Now we look stupid there. The government, the Secretary of Transportation, he's a moron. Right? The whole system, every time they need a distraction, it just demonstrates that at every level, government has failed to do their job, to help, to protect. And so every distraction now is an exposure event that exposes the government as being completely fucking incompetent, incapable of dealing with it. So the government says, no help for those people in Ohio. Talking about a distraction. Everyone's like, holy shit, no one gets taken care of. And then they're like, well, everything's just fine. And Kaz sent this through earlier. He's like, well, the chemical that was released just a couple days ago, surprise, the government reset that number of allowable parts per million to a much higher number. Well, why is that? Well, so you can have a contamination spill and call it normal, acceptable levels. Distraction after distraction after distraction after distraction. Now, you want another one? CBS had their news medical contributor come on the air. I'm not allowed to say anything. I get a strike if I say a word, but their medical contributor. Is this person a doctor, their medical contributor? Is that a doctor? Really? Who is this medical contributor that CBS is allowed to put on the air? Who could it be? Right? Well, let's see. I got all kinds of Cedars-Sinai Hospital information here. Let's ignore that. So instead, they bring up Dr. Celine Gunder, editor-at-large for public health at Kaiser Health News, and a CBS News medical contributor. Right? So they want to bring up this information. This complete dunderhead, Dr. Celine Gunder. And she has this to say. The claim is that there is a decline, right? The decline in people getting the Jim Jones juice and the decline of people willing to wear a mask to stop cerveza bug is causing heart attacks in young adults. That's what's causing all of this. The fact that people don't wear masks is causing heart attacks. That'd be like me saying, because you won't wear a mask, hamburgers are now twice as expensive. Has nothing to fucking do with it. Heart attacks in young adults are not caused by a decline in people taking the Jim Jones juice. In fact, you might say it's the fucking opposite. Heart attacks are caused by harming the cardiovascular system, is what I was told. But what do I know? I'm just here because of satire. Unbelievable. Dr. Celine Gunder is a fucking idiot and a mouthpiece and a shill and a sellout and a fraud, just like Dr. Fraudsy. The decline in Jim Juicination and the decline in mask wearing is causing heart attacks in young adults. See, now they're claiming that, well, there's a lot of people out there and they're just contaminated, filthy people carrying around that cerveza bug, and that's causing young people to have heart attacks. It's shocking, folks, how stupid these people are. and that they're allowed to be on the news talking while people like me and people like you are not even allowed to discuss the topic, not even allowed to bring up any points, not allowed to quote statistics because that's misinformation. That's disinformation. Can't have that. Can't have that. And I want to get onto this one, right? This was incredible. This was absolutely incredible. George Soros has now endorsed Governor DeSantis in Florida. And the media is calling it the kiss of death. Or is this, folks, reverse psychology to be used against the people? If George Soros endorses this channel, are you going to believe that everything I say is bullshit? Or is it that George Soros is trying to discredit me by tying his filthy name to this show? Well, it looks to me like he's doing reverse psychology on everybody. Well, is he trying to help him or is he trying to make him look bad? George Soros endorsing Ron DeSantis, Governor DeSantis, makes no sense. It's not the kiss of death for Ron DeSantis. It is the kiss of death for George Soros, continuing to show him to be the Star Wars Emperor type, filthy, old, weird-looking dude who is evil. All right, man, let's do this. Let's get over to your questions. Who do we have next? I think we got a couple more. And he says, newsflash. Newsflash coming out of Illinois. Newsflash. Governor Prickster, big fat ass, announces an executive order to rename the Illinois Emergency Management Agency to the Illinois Emergency Management Agency and Office of Homeland Security. So instead of the Illinois Emergency Management Agency, which is the IEMA, it is now the IEMA OHS, because more fucking letters makes everything more efficient in government. You know what I'm saying, Thuyas? Unbelievable. These fucking people are idiots, folks. Idiots. And to help explain that on this freaking Friday free-for-all, they're freaking idiots, folks. The White House spokesman, John Kirby, can't explain properly how Biden and his administration are able to go and look back in history and track the balloons they claim were there during Trump's years. How do they do that when the radar that can now spot these balloons has just recently been upgraded? Once again, they're attributing, folks, technology and decisions that have been recently made to the past, and then said, see, we can track these things, and they tracked them back then. No, sorry. Oh, look at this. An elementary school in Virginia is going to host its first after-school Satan's Club meeting. How brilliant is that? The government has tried claiming, after they went the alien direction, after, saying, it could be extraterrestrials, it could be, they kind of went the other way and said, no, these are just ridiculous balloons. And so the media actually said, hey, Mr. Kirby, mouthpiece for the world's biggest idiot president, why did you use missiles that cost $400,000 to shoot down benign objects, balloons? And could they explain it away? The answer is no. They just lie it away, and then they rely on the media to just go away. And by the way, Sam Bankman-Fried, right, the FTX thieving piece of shit who laundered money to give to Democrats, evidence is he's been tampering with juries. His jury tampering. But don't worry, he'll get away with it. Don't you worry, he's going to get away with it. Okay, oh man, what do we have next? We have Cottage Farm. You've got to be kidding me. I can't do it. She says, your thoughts on McDonald's in Germany now fowl-free McNuggets. Fowl, meaning birds. Chickens, McNuggets. Chicken-free chicken nuggets. So do they get soy protein meal and bleach it so it's white like chicken white meat, and then put in texture enhancers to make the slimy, disgusting soy mush have more meat-like consistency? I think they ought to just throw in a bunch of other ingredients too. Why not take that disgusting meat putty made out of soy and roll it in delicious, crunchy cricket legs and eyeballs and antenna and abdomens and cricket buttholes, and then deep fry them. Ooh, there you go. Fuck them, folks. I am not eating this shit. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Right? I demand that we be fed food. And Senator Marco Rubio has demanded that Biden fire Pete Buttigieg over his handling of the Ohio train disaster. And I say, good, while you're at it, why don't you demand that Kevin McCarthy, Speaker of the House, impeaches fucking Biden? If we're going to make demands, start fucking demanding something that really matters. Who gives a shit about Pete Buttgagger? Get him out of here. All of these people, folks, they're trying to destroy our country. Thank you, Cottage Farm. Thank you, everybody. It is Friday. Chance favors the prepared mind, folks. Is yours. Semper Fi. I'll see you Sunday night. Godspeed. God bless America. Get prepared.